Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, I know it's been a while since I haven't posted. I've been really busy with school, but I finally got a chance to post another video and I figured, why not talk about the products that I haven't been loving and kind of work with them again, maybe give them a second shot. So in today's video, I have quite a bit of a variety of products that I'll be mentioning. And at the end, I actually have a few skincare products as well to talk about. So I hope that you enjoy it. Let's get to it. First, I'm gonna start with the eyes. I actually forgot to bring myself a primer, but let's start off with this product first. This is by Flower Beauty. It's their Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. Every single time that I use this product, I find that it creases pretty badly on me. I'm not saying that other concealers don't crease on me, but this one in particular, I find that I have a bigger issue with. It's kind of rare for me to not use concealer or an actual eyeshadow base. And then next up, this is so dirty, I'm so sorry, but it's the Marvelous Mauves palette from Dose of Colors. I actually really do enjoy this palette in terms of like the color scheme. In general, like the colors seem to work out pretty well together. But the only issue I've had with this palette is that I feel like they don't blend as well when I try mixing them with other formulas, like from other palettes. They end up looking kind of patchy. I also have another Flower Beauty product. So this is the Flower Beauty Scribble Stick. This is in caramel. I don't know if you can actually see that far. The color itself really is fine, and I think as a lipstick it works fine. But what I found really interesting about this product is that it actually says it's a color for eyes and lips. The only issue with this is that it has like a mint like element in it. So when I tried it on my eyes, it was not a comfortable feeling. It felt kind of like odd. But basically, I'm just gonna try to use this as a base right now, kind of like in the outer corner of the eyes. So as you can see, I don't really have issues in terms of blending the color. That's not really an issue with this. It's really just the fact that it doesn't make sense to me that this would be a product for the eyes if it has a cooling sensation. Hopefully this doesn't glare too much. I'm gonna use the third shade. I'll probably be using the third and the fourth shade. I don't know if you can tell, but I cannot blend it. Like there's like straight up a line that you can just like see right there and it's not blending. Could be because of the shadow underneath, but ironically where it's getting stuck is right this area where there's not as much of that cream powder or cream product underneath. So I'm not really sure why that's happening. I'm gonna take a smaller brush and then dab into that same color again and try to fill that gap in. I'm gonna dab into the fourth one, which is this one right here. And then I'll probably dab into that last one as well. And then I'll for sure highlight my brows with the lighter shade. I do love the lighter shade in this palette because I find that it's light enough to actually show up. This one in particular is really nice and strong and pigmented, so I do enjoy that one. It's been insanely windy since yesterday, like crazy windy. And it was like 60 degrees all of a sudden and we're like in mid-December. So I don't know what's happening. I'm enjoying the weather. Like I'm not gonna lie, I don't mind a little bit of wind and like 60-degree weather, but it's kind of concerning. Like it kind of makes me feel like that's not a good sign. So hopefully the snow doesn't come soon. Let me go ahead and clean up the brows. And I'm gonna blend out the edges a little bit more. I went ahead and grabbed my Makeup Revolution pencil. I prefer eyebrow pencils that are more like a neutral mid-tone brown color. And this one is actually in the color medium brown, but it's quite warm for my taste. The formula is pretty creamy though, so I don't actually have a problem with using it. And I figured I would mention that the shape is kind of like a triangle. It does have a point, so if you want to be precise with your brows, you can make it work, but I do think that The shape of it lends itself more for like shading when you have a lot of gaps in your brows. But yeah, I just feel like if you really pay attention, sometimes it looks a little off, even though my natural hair color is actually kind of warm toned, but there's something very red in my opinion about this tone, so it's not my favorite. So for the face, we're gonna use a Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. This one is in the shade 230. I bought this a while ago and I'm pretty sure this is like a summer shade. So something very interesting about this foundation is that I feel like it tends to do better when you use a sponge, a wet sponge. Otherwise, if my skin is like pretty dry in that moment, I feel like this is the type of foundation that'll accentuate that texture. And another issue I've had with it is that it caused me to break out. But I was just very curious and trying a cream formula like this, just because I've always used liquid foundations. And I thought that this would be kind of like a cleaner option because you don't have to get it on your fingers and you can apply it directly to your face. I think this is a concealer that I had heard about through Jessica Braun, actually. But then recently I was watching another video of hers and she mentioned that she felt like they changed the formula. So I'm wondering if maybe when she was recommending it, it was through the old formula and I just happened to get the newer one. But I would say that this concealer is more of like a light to medium coverage concealer. Oh my God, I look like a ghost. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and set it using the E.L.F. Halo Glow powder. So this powder is another product that I don't love. I'm gonna use it under the eyes, but I already know I don't like it under the eyes. It makes my eyes look heavier, and I think that overall it's probably just a better powder for your face. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the Ulta Beauty Gel Eyeliner. I actually don't have anything bad to say about this eyeliner. I think that they're pretty good, but I just brought it to complement the eye look. And then I'm gonna go ahead and curl my eyelashes. My eyelashes are very droopy, they're very straight, and it's very rare to find a mascara that actually holds them up unless it's waterproof. And I came across the concept of tubing mascaras, and so this one actually came in my FabFitFun box. It's called Fabulous Flocking Lashes by the Beauty Crop. You kind of rub your eyelashes a little bit with warm water and it kind of comes off kind of like lash glue, which I'm not in love with. Like, I guess the concept of how it coats your lashes seemed really interesting to me. But then when it comes to having to take it off like that, like imagine doing that every single day. That means that you have to tug on your lashes. So then I feel like it's not actually as healthy for your lashes as it may seem. Quite frankly, I don't really think that it does anything special to my lashes, and it definitely doesn't hold them up. I don't know. I can't tell if it's the formula or if it's the packaging that also gets in the way of more product coming out, but I find myself having to dip into the tube various times to get enough product out. So I'm gonna bring up the Burt's Bees blush in the shade Toasted Cinnamon. I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with the formula. It's actually pretty interesting because it doesn't seem like it has shimmer, but it has like the slightest glow to it. And I was just really curious to try a color that wasn't pink, like that was kind of like a nude color, but still kind of like bronzy. So sometimes I'll use this color as my bronzer and blush, but something that I've noticed recently about it is the fact that someone could easily think that like I used a dark shade of foundation right here and then just a really light concealer. So I just think that the tone of it didn't really work out for my skin tone. But again, the formula is not bad. And I still wear this one, but this is definitely more of like a summer shade for me. So this is the KKW Beauty like highlighter stick. I bought the set that came with the contour sticks as well, and it has the actual highlighter, and then it has more of like a highlight matte shade with it. I don't know if she is going to reformulate these or bring them back in her new line. I know she's in the process of switching that up. But I bought these recently when they were on sale because I was always curious to try them. But they also had so many mixed reviews that I wasn't sure I wanted to pay full price for them. So when I saw them on sale, I was like, perfect. I will say that the contour sticks blend in way too fast, but I think that they work better with a brush than a sponge. But for this one in particular, I found that the highlight shade just was not really, it looked odd on my skin. It just didn't look right. And the shimmery part as well, like it wasn't really that surprising to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and place some right there. You can kind of see it, and then I'll just blend it in with my fingers. The highlighter part is not actually bad. I think I take that back. Like I would actually wear this more. I think what didn't work out for me as much was the like lighter shade that's kind of like that skin tone shade. I understand that this is the set for like lighter skin tones, but then how do you know that everyone within that range is going to fit this particular tone? I just think that that's kind of a hard thing to do. So I was surprised that this was a part of it. See, like up close, I don't think you can see it from there, but it just doesn't look like my skin tone. Like it doesn't blend enough. It looks kind of heavy on my skin. I'm gonna zoom in and see like if you can see what I'm talking about. Do you see right there? Like I'm blending it in. Let's use this Revolution Conceal and Define Translucent Powder. I think that the packaging on this is super cute. Like, are you kidding me? This is like super elegant to be just like drugstore priced. This is genius. I love this. But the powder, it's white and it looks white. I remember one time, I think it was the first time I used this powder, I used the little sponge that comes with it, and I was a little bit embarrassed because I looked at my boyfriend and I was like, does it look like I have white powder on my nose? And he said, yeah. And I was like, great. Yeah, I don't love the fact that it doesn't blend in well, but let's give it another shot. I don't know if you can tell. See, right now it's fine. What the heck? So it does mattify, but it kind of makes my skin look very powdery. The next product I want to talk about is the Nabla Skin Glazing Highlighter in the color Amnesia. The reason why I got it was because the reviews online made it seem like it was a very like glowy and not sparkly type of highlighter. But when I actually got it, I don't feel like that was the case. Quite frankly, I don't feel like this is any different than other highlighters I have. So if you were looking for something that was glowy and not sparkly, I can't tell you that this is that different. Let's go ahead and apply some lashes. So these are from Kiss. I don't have the full box anymore, but these are from the Max Out collection. They're just pretty big. I don't think they're the worst lashes out there, but I kind of had to like grow into them a little bit. And then I'm gonna use the Kiss Lash Glue, and this is the Oat Strip Lash Adhesive. I swear to you, it is so liquidy and messy. It just like gets all over the place. I found that it's easier if I just use a brush to apply the glue. And I feel like it takes forever to dry, and it's not really the strongest lash glue, so I would not recommend this lash glue. This is absolutely a fail for me. So yeah, this one's very liquidy. It's dark. I bought this one because my eyes were getting pretty sensitive, and I just thought that this was going to be a better option for me, but it turned out that it just wasn't. We'll see how it works. Maybe it'll work because now I'm filming it like some of the other products. Kind of feel like when something's wrong with my car, I'll be like, I'll tell my dad about it. And I swear, like, for example, there was like a noise that I was making the other day. Told my dad about it. He test drives it. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. There was actually, he heard it later on, but I just feel like that always happens. Something about my dad getting in the car, all of a sudden everything works fine. I was actually going to include two pairs of lashes from House of Lashes in this video, but I recently got rid of them. But those were for sure like lashes that did not work out for me. They were really stiff in my opinion. And the styles that I got, like, they just didn't go along with my eye shape. Shoot, now I don't remember. See, they look so similar that now I just don't even remember which one's which. I just think that they were, like, the first couple of times getting them on was a little bit challenging, and I think I actually had to trim them quite a bit because I didn't like how they started so suddenly, like from the front. They're okay. Is it popping off? Lip liner from NYX. This one's in the color Nectar. I think that like the formula itself, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it, but it's a metallic. It just looks odd in my opinion to have a metallic lip liner. Unless you're wearing a metallic lipstick, then I kind of get it. But that's not really my vibe, so it didn't work out for me. And speaking of metallics, I have these lipsticks from Smashbox. These are in the colors Rust Fund, and the other one is in Bold Digger. But I did swatch them right here. I think that they're interesting colors, but for me, I have very lined lips, so I feel like metallics actually accentuate that more. And then another thing that I noticed about these is that the formula is comfortable. It's kind of like moussey-ish, but because it's on the drier side, they actually dry out a lot faster. So I'm actually gonna get rid of these because one of them I didn't use many times, and there's still some in the tube, but I could barely even get it out. And then the next one I want to mention is one that I got recently. So Kylie is also, I think, changing up her line, but I got one of her lip kits in the color Koko K, which by the way I love. But what I didn't love very much was her lip liner that came with it. I found that it was actually lighter than the shade itself. It didn't actually like line my lips very much or help. Like right here, so this is the lip liner and this is Koko K, but I swear that on the lips it looked lighter. So I just felt like they didn't match quite right, but I might use it with another lipstick. And I need to sharpen this like ASAP. It definitely looks lighter than the lipstick in my opinion. The lipstick looks more pink and this just looks very nude. So I feel like for this situation, they should have just done a shade that was more pink. And then the next product I want to mention is this lipstick from Maybelline in Baddest Beige. This one was a recommendation from Jaclyn Hill. She was obsessed with it and it looked gorgeous on her. But I think it was probably because she paired it so well with another lip liner. The formula is interesting. This is a very glossy lipstick, but the inner part of your lips turn white. I feel like that happened pretty fast with this one, so I wasn't very happy about that. And then another one I want to mention is this Wet n Wild Cloud Pout. It's actually not that pigmented, and because it's a nude shade, even though I used a lip liner, I found that it was starting to settle into my lines and look like whitish. So I wasn't a fan of that. Classic. I'm bringing back to probably what, 2015, when liquid lipsticks were in style. Well, that didn't end for me. I still like liquid lipsticks, but the Anastasia Beverly Hills ones are extremely dry for me. I'm not really sure how the heck they got so popular. I think that their shade range is really beautiful. This color is beautiful too. This one's an Ashton, but they're just extremely drying, so I don't reach for it very often. And last but not least, I've said so many lip products. You guys are probably asleep by now, but I got this other nude lipstick from L'Oreal, and I got this one in the color Full Blown Fawn. So I went through a phase like last year, earlier this year, where I was trying to find the perfect nude for myself. I started buying a ton of nude lipsticks. As you can see, I mentioned a few so far. I don't know, it looked nice online, but then when I actually tried it on, it was straight up gray. I do like cool tone lipsticks. I have a couple that I enjoy, but this is just not one of them. I think it just looks odd. Like it's cool, but it's also nude, but I don't know, it's not my favorite. So I put on the Wet n Wild like mousse lipstick right now. It looks fine actually, but after wearing it for a little bit, the first like 2 times, I did notice that it would set into my lines, and I just think that that's just like a matter of needing a little bit more pigment. But I did want to quickly mention a few face products that I felt didn't work out for me as well, or skincare products. So first off is the Peter Thomas Roth Cucumber Gel Mask. I was really looking forward to this because my skin has been very dry now that the winter is coming up. And it's supposed to be a hydrating mask. You can actually use it as like a deep mask overnight, or you can use it as a mask for like 10 minutes, it says. And I like the fact that it's, you know, a gel mask because it's easier to wipe off than other masks. And it's a good brand. So I was really hyped up about it, and it actually ended up making my skin feel very itchy and dry, contrary to what it's supposed to do. Other similar products that I've tried are the Laniege Water Sleeping Mask. I was using it as a mask like on its own overnight, and then I looked into it a little bit, and I guess apparently you're supposed to use it like on top of your moisturizer is what I've read. So I tried that, and I think that it pairs well. Like if I'm wearing a light moisturizer plus this, it's all right. It doesn't really do much for my skin. Like it doesn't dry it out, but it also isn't like crazy moisturizing in my opinion. It's not really clearly stated how to use this in the directions. It really just says overnight moisture mask that purifies with exclusive sleep tox and intensively hydrates through the night for clear and glowing skin every morning. And it's for all skin types. It smells kind of like a perfume, which I don't mind. I think the texture is very interesting. It goes a really long way, but it doesn't hydrate my skin that much more than a moisturizer would. Currently, I'm trying a different brand. This is from the brand Flight Mode Skincare, and it's their high altitude hydration mask. This one's very much like the Laneige, like it has a gel texture to it as well. I've been applying it over my moisturizer, and I feel like this one has been kind of like clumping up, like it pills up with my moisturizer. Whereas the Laneige one, I didn't really have that issue, so at least it was easier to use. So I think that I've just come to realize that sleeping masks are not for me. I'd rather just do another mask or use like a more intensive moisturizer. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really missed filming. It's been a really hectic semester, and it feels so good to have time for myself again. I feel like I really needed that, and I really needed to just talk about makeup and like get back to doing this as my hobby, you know? So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.